little question for you here. Since we are talking about living consciously, what does living consciously mean to you? So just for a moment, now that you've centered yourself, close your eyes and just think for a moment, what does living consciously mean to me? Once you have it in your mind, if you want, you can text it, or you can just keep it in your mind. What living consciously means to you. And now what we're going to do is, we're going to show you a short video. It's only 2 minutes of what it means, what living consciously means to our team members, to the team members of Ratna Center for Conscious Living, which we call RCCL. And these are people who've been here for a while. So you'll hear from our team what it means to them.
For a long time, I didn't know that I can live consciously. I felt that things just happen and I need to do my best to manage and to deal with things. And when I thought that I knew what is to live consciously, I felt that I would arrive someday. I felt that it is destination. I would constantly work towards it, and at some point I would really be there. And as the time went by, I realized that it's neither a destination. I felt that it's a continuous process.
After working at RCCL with Dr. Sampurna for almost a year now, one thing that I've gotten in touch with is that innocent part of me that was always fascinated by the smallest things, even if it's like looking at a plant or looking at the sky or looking at the lines on your hands. Each thing is so special, and there's something that's really enduring about each moment that we tend to forget eventually in life.
The way I invest my time and energy, so living consciously has really slowed down time for me, and I know that slowing down will give you the wrong impression, but actually I realized that when you slow down, you're able to get a lot of things done in a better manner and in a more wholesome manner, and the amount of energy that I use is more channeled, and so my end result is basically very wholesome.
What I am learning to do and what I'm practicing every day is to be more present with whatever is going on for me in this moment. And I'm noticing that life is actually becoming a lot simpler and it's starting to flow more.
To me, it also means charting the course of my life, not living by default and not letting what is conventional dictate the path of my life. It also means exploring and discovering the things I want to do in my life and actually doing them. And finally, I think it means listening to my heart.
And collectively as a team, we follow this as a daily habit, and we also teach other people to do this and implement it in their lives. So it's really, like, I don't know, I'm just really happy, and it feels fulfilling to live this way.
Yeah. So for each one, it means something. But for everybody, it's basically, again, to be conscious is to come into the present. So for me, living consciously means to be present. When I'm present to myself, when I'm really internally present within, then I'm connected to everything that's outside. So then I'm present to everybody outside of me. I'm present to the earth, I'm present to the world around me. Everything is a part of me. And because I'm present inside, then the whole universe is also inside of me. I'm a part of the whole universe. So it's interrelated. So then it's all one and the same. And that's when I am actually being. That's why when we did this exercise now, the visualization, you became part of the moment. You became the moment. The moment became you. So in that state, we are at a level of being. And if we are in that state of being, we can't harm anybody. We can't harm ourselves also. And our life will be conscious. It will be one of integrity. Simply by being present. Because my presence inside of me makes me present to everything outside, which is my entire life. And my life won't be just mine. Then I can't be doing something bad to anyone else or even to myself. My life is not just mine. It's the inner, the outer, everything is mine. It's like my body and my outer body. And that is what is real presence. And if I am present and I'm living consciously, then that's what I bring into my world also, that consciousness. So today, rather than continuing to talk about it and explain what conscious living or living consciously means to me, we'll go through some experiences which will bring us into that state, which brings us into the present state. I thought it would be more enhancing to give you a practical approach with methods that you can use rather than, just give a talk. So if you have methods that will help you to become conscious and to live consciously on a daily basis, that would be useful for you, right?
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Thank you. So what we're going to do is go through very, very small, simple processes. And while I'm leading the processes, you might even think, that's all, huh? But those are the simple things. If you can bring into your life, you'll find that moment by moment, your life starts changing. So we'll start with something very simple. It is like just making the sound ah. So as children, we would have done a lot of the sound, that kind of sound. So we're going to start with something as simple as that. So all of you can just close your eyes and make the sound 3-4 times. Ah.
Ah.
Yeah. So is everyone doing it in the audience? Can you all do that? If you make this sound, and then notice how it feels. Yeah, so when you're doing the processes, you don't have to text, just be within yourself and just notice how it feels. Okay, so now what I'm going to ask you to do is, do the same sound, bring your hands also into it and you, and keep doing that until I ask you to stop. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how I'm going to do it. So you can just watch me once and then I don't know if I'm spotlighted, but if you can spotlight me, then I'll just demonstrate what to do.
You are spotlighted, Dr. Sampurna.
Oh. So you're just going to close your eyes and you're bringing your arms right up till here and going, So as you're doing the your hands are dropping also. And then continue to do that until I ask you to stop. Keep doing it. Those of you who have stopped, keep doing it, continue to do it. Only then you'll experience the difference. Ah. Do it bringing your voice out, not just the air, but ah. Yeah. And then now you can close your eyes and stay with your eyes closed and come into silence. And stay in that silence with your eyes closed. Okay, and so now you can open your eyes and come back to the space. And you can just notice what happened for you when you were making the sounds and what happened for you when you were in silence. Yeah. So you might have had release when you were making the sounds. And then when you are in silence, there is more healing that happens. Okay, so what happens in the silence is, yeah, there's calmness, there's stillness, there's a sense of relaxation, so different feedback that's coming. So you feel light. So all these things come because you've come into the present moment. Desire to be, that's also a good thing. So if you've had something like which you think is not positive, it doesn't matter, because that's also coming out because you've allowed yourself to go into a state of relaxation and safety. That's when even your emotions are able to come out. And so when those emotions come up at the time, there's no need to block it off. Allow it to come, allow it to go, and you'll find that you'll have a deeper stillness after that. So beautiful. So many of you are sharing all that you felt. And so when you feel that relaxation, when you feel that calmness, that peace, you'll naturally feel more refreshed, more alert. And there's so much healing that will happen. So in that state, you're actually in the present. And that's why there is no thinking, there is no past, there's no future, it's all in the present. Where is the energy? Energy is in the present. In the past, in the future, both you're thinking. When you're thinking, you're either in the past, which is already over, which is not our reality right now, or you're in the future, which has not yet happened. And so again, that's not your reality. Your reality is only now. So where is the energy? Energy is only in the now. It's in the present. So when we have that energy in the present and we bring ourselves into the present, that energy automatically gets used. It's able to bring you into that state of relaxation and heal you. So when you do this exercise, if you do this exercise in your daily life, when you just do it through the day, you can do it just going, every half an hour, you can do it 2-3 times and then just continue doing whatever you're doing. So each time you do that, release is happening. Because today is an age of information, right? We receive so much information, so many inputs. All the time there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook, there's so much of social media information. And we're taking it all in, taking, and then there's nothing going out. So this is exformation. And so you're releasing all that and letting all that stuff, that garbage, the junk, all that to go, and you can retain the essence of what you need. So that's what we're doing with this. So if you keep on doing this every half an hour, there's a lot of release that will happen on a day-to-day basis, on an ongoing, continuous basis. And maybe once a day, twice a day, if you can sit down like we did now and do it about 30, 40 times, a little more than even what I did now, then what will happen is lots of release will happen. And then after that, you continue staying with your eyes closed like we did now and just stay in silence. At that point, you'll come into that present moment, silence, and the body, the unconscious, will automatically begin the healing. So whatever is required for you, the unconscious knows better than you what is required for you. So that will bring in whatever healing needs to happen at that point. Okay, so this is something so simple. Do you think you can bring it into your daily life? Yes? Yeah. So you can bring it into your daily life. Very easy, very simple to bring it into your daily life. So it will be a simple step that you can take towards yourself. Now I'm going to lead you through another process, which is, it's not even a big process, it's just a moment where what is actually the present moment? The present moment is the gap between your in-breath and your out-breath. And actually there is no gap, because even as you take in many of you are doctors here, so you'll know better than me, that as you're taking in your in-breath itself, the exhale is already started. And as they kind of, one is going in, one is coming out. So they kind of meet at some point, they cross over at some point. There's no real gap. And yet it's that point of that crossover, that point of between the in-breath and the out-breath, that the actual present moment is. That's where it is most powerful. Okay, so what we're going to do is, you're going to close your eyes and just now you're not going to hold your breath. So when I say between the in-breath and out-breath, sometimes what we tend to do is take a breath, hold it, and then let it go. So we're not going to hold the breath, just naturally as it's happening. You're breathing in, you're breathing out, and just somewhere in between, we take that as the present moment, the still point. And in that still point, we can insert whatever word we want, like health. Here, since it's a group that works with health, I'm bringing in a lot of health. So it can be health, it can be money, it can be joy, it can be love, whatever you want in your life. Because whatever we think about can more easily manifest in the present moment. Why? Because there's energy there, right? So if we bring ourselves into the present through that still point, we're just aware, not even bring ourselves. We are aware of that present moment, and that's where you just put in that word. It's like putting in an intention, and gradually you'll see that starts manifesting in your life. Okay, so you want to do that, and it might not be like, you may not feel I've done it right just now. It doesn't matter. You're getting to know something. So you just experiment with it, and later on at home, keep doing it a few times, and then you'll just feel, yeah, this is my still point. Okay, so I won't be leading you or anything. It's just that you close your eyes and breathe in, breathe out a few times. Just your normal breathing. You're not changing anything. And as you breathe in, breathe out, you'll notice that center point between the in-breath and the out-breath. After a few breaths, you'll kind of recognize that. And that is your still point. So in that still point, insert whatever word, a positive word that you want. It's a very small space, so just insert one word instead of a whole sentence. Yeah. So you may have been able to do it, you may not have been able to do it. You may think you've not been able to do it. It doesn't matter. You already know that this is your still point. And that's where the energy is. So whatever we think in that point becomes reality. Okay, so you can come back. And when we are living consciously, we are more and more in the present. And we are in
Dr.
that.
Sampurna,
Yeah.
there are 2 points. One is while exhalation and inhalation, then inhalation, exhalation, right? 2 points are there.
Yeah. So we are doing between the two.
Right.
Okay. So that point of inhalation, point of exhalation, between the two. That is the still point, the middle point between the two.
Right.
Okay, so that's where you can insert the word. That is the present state.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, so the gap between the point of inhalation, point of exhalation. So when we're doing all these kind of activities like the R, the still point, what are we doing? We are coming more and more into the present. Initially, it may seem difficult because we've trained our mind so much to wander, isn't it? That's why it's called the monkey mind. We've trained it so much to keep going all over the place. So it may seem like it's difficult to come into the present. And that's why we are now having to learn ways to bring ourselves into the present and to become conscious and live in the present. For children, it's very normal. They live in the present. And then with our training and our education system, we kind of bring them, get them distracted and diverted to going all over the place. So then we become adults again, and then we have to relearn what was natural for us. And the good thing is the body is always present, the mind is always present, and we can always relearn and come back to being in the present. So I'm going to bring you to another exercise, which is very, very simple again. And this will be probably very easy to do also. All you're going to do is place your hand on some part of your body. You're going to just place your hand on some part of your body. And with your hand on that part of your body, you're going to feel that contact, that sense of touch, the sensations that are there between your palm and that part of your body. That's all you're doing. You're just being aware of the sensations of touch between your hand and that part of your body. And now move to another part of your body. Place your hand on some other part. And again, you're feeling the sensations there. Become aware of the sensations in that part and in your hands, or it might be one of the two. And again, take your hand and move it to some other part, anywhere, it doesn't matter where. And once again, notice the sensations, the contact between the two. And then one more time, move it to another part. Anywhere on your body. And again, notice the sensations in your hands or in that part of your body, or you might even notice your breath, whatever is convenient for you. And then you can let go. You can allow your hand to come back to resting position. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. And just notice what you felt. And notice what you feel now. You may be feeling like you're more in the present. Don't try to figure out anything. Just feel it. If you don't feel anything, notice that you don't feel. Yeah? Even while you were doing it, did it bring you more into the present? Yeah. Yeah. So this is something you can easily do even in the middle of your work, right? If you're working on your laptop, you're working on some project, or you're working in the hospital, basically you're busy. And when we are busy, we are very distracted, isn't it? We're thinking so many different thoughts. I have to finish this, do that. You're doing this, you're doing that. There's also a lot of analysis, there's thinking, there's evaluation, judgment, synthesis. All of this is going on in our heads. And when so much is going on, there's a lot of stress in the body. Why would it create stress in the body? Because we are not in the present. We are thinking, we are here, we are there. So anytime we are not in the present, our body gets stressed. So it's a beautiful thing to do, to pause. So simple way to pause. Just place your hand somewhere on your body, pause for a moment, or however long you need to do it. And in a few seconds, you'll notice the difference. So however busy you are, can you take a few seconds break? Right, you can, no? Yeah. Anybody can take a few seconds break, because anyway, however busy we are, our mind is always going here and there for a few seconds in between. So it's not thinking anything useful at the time. So we can always take a few seconds break, place your hand somewhere. Why are we placing our hand somewhere? So that it's like an anchor to help us pause. Okay, so place your hand somewhere, become aware of the sensations, again place your hands elsewhere, again feel that contact, and just do that 3-4 times. Altogether, it won't even take you a minute. It'll be less than that. If you don't have that much time, do it even 2 times and you'll feel the difference. So why am I asking you to change? Why am I not saying just keep your hand somewhere and then feel that, stay in that present moment, feel the contact, feel the sensations, and you'll just come into the present. Anyone has any thoughts on that? I'll only tell you. Why? Because if you're going to stay in one place for long, then your mind will start wandering again. You can stay in one place. But if you don't keep changing your hand in the beginning, the mind will start thinking again and it'll start wandering. But if you have some action with it, because why? Because we're so used to action, no? Are we all used to action? Continuously, we're taking some action or the other. So we are so used to action that we'll miss that action. So if you take some action, even as simple as moving your hand from one to the other, your mind will be satisfied. It says, okay, you're doing something. Huh? Then, since it's satisfied, it won't distract you. It won't come up with something else. So we're just taking action to satisfy ourselves. And that action we're taking is in harmony with what you're already doing. So it doesn't distract you from being in the present. In fact, it enhances because you're moving and then again you're feeling the contact in the next place. So here, what are we doing? We're just playing around like how we deal with children, because our mind sometimes behaves like a child. So when we're dealing with children, what do? We play with them. We kind of maneuver them. We do small little tricks to make them do something. So it's the same thing with your mind. You want to be in a state of being, and your mind is not accustomed to being in a state of being. And your mind wants to be in a state of action, in a state of doing, thinking, all that. So you're giving it that little action, you're giving it something to think about, that I have to move to another place. And when you're doing that, it's satisfied and you're able to come into that state of being. It's bringing you into a state of being along with keeping your mind satisfied. Yeah? So this is so simple and you can easily do it wherever you are, whenever you are. Yes?
Very simple and very powerful technique, Dr. Sampoorna. Very powerful.
Right. And again, if you've done the still point and put an intention and then you're doing this and bringing yourself into that state of being, more and more you're in the present, more and more healing happens, manifestation happens, synchronicities happen. You know, when synchronicities happen in our life, which means what we think is coincidence, it's actually not a coincidence. It is two things coming together because we've allowed it to come together. So more and more of that will happen. And life itself will become, you know, a series of synchronicities. And it'll be like life is a miracle. It's all the time just happening. Many times at RCCL, my interns and people who are working here will say, but it happens so often. How come you're not used to it? Why do you get excited all over again? I get excited all over again because each time it's like a wonder. It's like something, oh, wow, this is what life is, right? Because we're not always living in the present. So each time it's happening, it's like, wow, so beautiful. It's such a miracle. And that miracle we can bring into our lives just by being present, by living consciously. So living consciously is about bringing yourself into the present, into a state of being. And these are all methods that you can use to allow that to happen in your life. They'll actually help you. These are methods that can help you to focus. It brings concentration, helps with our memory, everything. And those of you who are doctors, it's so stressful, isn't it? You're dealing with not something ordinary. You're dealing with patients' health. You're carrying you know, they come with so much pain, with so much problem. They're sharing all that with you. You're taking on all that. So constantly doing this will keep grounding you, is also, I'm listening to a lot of difficulties that people have. I'm seeing the stress they go through, the depression, panic, anything that they are having, even health issues. So then, if I'm going to be listening to all that, some part of it is going to keep getting absorbed even within me. So I'm always constantly doing all these exercises for myself, besides doing my daily meditation, which I do in the form of Vipassana. Besides doing a few hours of that every day, I constantly bring in these little techniques through the day so that I am centered, I am grounded, so my life is smooth and I can also support them better. So to bring this into your daily life will really be helpful. You can spend, it's not even like you need to spend extra time on it, isn't it? Now, whatever I've taught you now, do you need to spend extra time on it, or can you just intersperse it into your life?
We don't need any extra time for that. We can do it anytime. Even when we're traveling, we can do that also at that time also.
Exactly. Perfect. And even when you're working, even when you're, now if you're with a doctor, with a patient, in between for a second to place your hand on some part of your body. In fact, you can teach your patients also that. Or you can do you can tell your patient if they're very stressed, do that once, let go of all that stress, and now let's talk. Very often I start my therapy sessions like that. I make them do something to release the stress, and then we start. So the session goes deeper, they are more open, I'm more open, and everything works better. Yeah. So the more you practice all these things, the easier it becomes when you actually have a particular situation. When things are smooth, it's okay, no? It's easy for us to remember and to do it. But actually, one more thing is, these methods are so simple that we'll forget to do it. You think that will be a problem? Generally, that is a problem because it's so simple, we won't even remember to do it. So usually what I tell people is, initially for the first week at least, have phone reminders, have reminders on your laptop. Every half an hour have it can be a bell or something that comes up on your phone as a reminder. And that time, do the make that sound. At some point, whenever you want, do the hand exercise, do the still point. So give yourself reminders so that you actually bring it into your life. Otherwise, it's quite likely that you might think I'll do it and then the whole day will go and you wouldn't have done. That used to happen to me in the beginning. So that's why I tell people to do this. And I find that after I've started saying this to people, they're easily able to bring it into their life. So what I was saying was that when you're feeling fine, you're feeling good, you also feel inspired to do all that. But when you're feeling low, you're feeling bad, some problem, some stress, something went wrong somewhere, those are the times that you will forget all about this. But if you've had enough practice, say you're doing it every day, it's not that I'm doing this only when I need it. I'm doing this when I'm feeling good. So if you're doing it all the time, every day, that becomes your habit pattern. And then when that becomes your habit, the minute there's some stress, immediately that will come naturally. One of these exercises, of course, we have many more, but one of these things will just come up naturally and it'll help you, it'll support you in that moment. Yeah. So when I have some issue going on, something is not okay, something happens, or I'm yelling at somebody, I'm angry, I'm yelling at somebody. In the middle of my yelling also, I'll stop and I'll say, okay, 1 hour now. And then everything calms down, I relax, and then I can handle it in a better way. So it's very beautiful. And that happens because I'm practicing it. If you don't practice it, you'll get caught with that thought, with those emotions, with those thoughts, and you'll forget to bring that in. So we'll do one more exercise, which is again very simple. It's similar to placing your hands on your body. Instead of the body, you're going to hold your hands together. So it's like this, you're just holding your hands together. You just bring the two hands together. And it's just very similar to the other one. Instead of some other part of your body, the two hands are coming together and you're feeling the sensations there. And just notice the sensations. And now this time, if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. And with your eyes open, again, feel the sensations in that part of your, in your hands. If you had your eyes open earlier, then close your eyes. So you're learning to do it both ways. Feeling the sensations between your palms. And alternate. For a little while, keep your eyes closed and notice it. And now, for a little while, keep your eyes open and notice it. This is just to get practiced to also be able to do this when your eyes are open. So in your daily life, it will become easier. If you're not able to do it, don't stress over it. With practice, it will come. And if your mind wanders, there's no problem. You realize, okay, I'm wandering, and just bring it back to the palms. And see from the palms if you're able to spread it to your body. And again, we're just experimenting, so don't worry if you can't do it. But just with your palms, with your eyes closed, with your eyes open, just notice. Okay, and then you can come back. And you may think that one way only is going to work for me. This only works, only if I close my eyes, it works. That again is getting stuck with the thought. So just let that thought go and explore, experiment, and then only you will know what works for you. Because if you start learning to do it with your eyes open, then it's very easy for you to do it wherever you are. Even when you're interacting with someone, you can still have your eyes open and you're holding your hands, and just for a few seconds, you're focusing on the sensations. Immediately, you'll feel the energy difference. You'll start feeling energized. So what happens when you come into the present in that state of being? There's energy there. So you feel refreshed, you feel energized. So even when you're feeling tired, you've done a lot, it's very simple ways to bring your energy back up. And here with the two palms, it's a very high energy thing because there is a lot of energy in both the parts. Both your hands have a lot of energy. So when you're bringing them together, it's like explosive energy coming together. It's a nice way of bringing you into just being. Did you feel that when you're holding and you're just being there? Normally we might have our hands together, but we don't focus on observing or noticing the sensations, right? We're not focusing on being present to it. So now when you're doing that, can you feel yourself feeling centered? Do you feel a difference? Yeah, pulsating energy, correct. So when in our daily lives, often we are scattered all over the place. You may have 1 million things to do. I have to complete this, I have to start that, I have to give instructions here. I have so many different things happening. It could be work, it could be kids, it could be picking up children, drops, so many different things that each of us handles on a daily basis. It could be a combination of everything, and it's all happening every day. So just now, imagine a situation in your life. It could be work situation, it could be a home situation, anything where you're all over the place. You have so many different things to do. have to finish this, I have to do that, let me do this first, let me do, all that. So bring that situation to your mind. Yeah, you have that situation in your mind and imagine that. Imagine yourself in that. And even as you're imagining yourself in that, as if you're living it right now, notice the difference, how your body gets tense, how your body gets stressed, how there's activity happening inside. And now bring your hands together and just stay with the sensations between the two hands. And notice how quickly you get centered when you do that. Each time when you're working or when you're scattered, when it's hectic, just take a few seconds, one moment, few moments. Just stop and do this. And just notice the sensations. And as you wait, it won't be long. You'll just settle down, you'll feel centered. Did you feel it now? Did you feel the difference? Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, relaxed very soon, right? Thank you. So if you felt it now, just thinking about it, you'll feel the same happening when it's actually happening also. Because the mind does not know the difference between real and imagined. When you imagine something, it's equal to it happening. So now, if it happened now and you're able to get centered, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that will happen even in your life situation where, and this can be when your mind is scattered, it can also be when you're physically scattered. You're running this side, you're running that side, even at that time. For a second, just pause. Few moments, just be there. It can be holding hands, it can be on your body, whatever it is. Yeah? So you can think of different situations in your life, isn't it? Even, I'll tell you one more thing. Even when you're having stressful thoughts about yourself, like, you're second guessing yourself. What I mean is, you might have thoughts that are not allowing you to appreciate yourself, which don't allow you to enjoy something that you've done. It stops you from fully enjoying what you've done because there's another part that's saying, no, you didn't do it properly, you didn't do it well enough, you could have done this, you should have done that. So you're taking away from what you've actually got. You've done something and then you're not allowing yourself to enjoy that. Even in those moments, you can do this. You can just immediately say pause or just place your hand somewhere and allow that thought to run and you just pause. Focus on the sensations. Or you even just say pause and place your hand and just focus on that. That thought will end right there. I don't know if we have the time, we can even do that now. You want to do that now? Sandeep, shall we do that?
Yes, Dr. Sampurna.
Okay. So just think of some thought that normally flusters you, worries you, upsets you, some thought like that about yourself. And don't take something too traumatic, just take something mild, simple. And now as you're thinking of that thought, as the thought keeps running in your mind, just take your hand and place it somewhere and say pause and focus on the sensations there. Focus on the sensations in your hand or in that part, in that contact. And then move your hand to some other part. And again, focus your attention there. And now again, think of that same thought that's bothering you and take your hand and place it somewhere else. And again, focus on the sensations as you say pause. And repeat this a few times. Again, think that thought. And as the thought is running, you're not doing anything to the thought. The thought is running. All you're doing is taking your hand and placing it somewhere and focusing on that. Again, think that thought and again say pause and take it somewhere. And focus on the sensations. You might say pause, you might not say pause. I'm just showing you different ways. Yeah? And then you can let go, release your hand, and you can open your eyes. So did you find a difference? Usually what happens is the thought kind of dissipates. The thought starts, yeah. Thank you. So the thought starts dissipating, the thoughts just disintegrate. And very often what happens also is that when you're trying to bring back that thought, it's difficult to bring it back. Anyone notice that? Yeah. It's difficult for that thought to come back in that full force again. Yeah. Thank you. So this, you just have to repeat it a few times whenever it happens in your life. Whether it's the thought, whether it's someone else, something else, whether you're blaming yourself and stopping yourself from receiving some credit, or whether you're simply, wasting your energy thinking of worrying about something. Each time you do any of those things, just do this pause. Place your hand somewhere. You might say pause, or you might just place it somewhere and focus on those sensations. And if you do this a few times, what will happen is the unconscious will understand that this behavior and this kind of thinking is something you don't want, and it will start changing that habit pattern. Because once we develop habits, these are all habits, no? Even our thinking, everything is a habit. So once we have a habit, once we've developed a habit, even if you think I don't need to think like this, there's no control. The thought will automatically pop up. It'll pop up naturally because it's become a habit. So if you actively show yourself that you don't want that, then the unconscious itself will take over. For the unconscious to take over, by unconscious, I mean your higher consciousness. For that to take over and start doing that, you need to repeat a few times. You need to show it a few times that, so you do it with one thing, you do it with another thing, you do it with that. Then it understands, okay, this is what you want. It will not make the change if you've just done it once. Why not? Because if you've just done it once, it doesn't know whether it's just a one-off reaction. It doesn't know whether you really want the change. So for the unconscious, there's nothing like positive and negative. It's something that you're doing and it will support you with what you're doing. But if you consistently do it 5-6 times in different situations in a short period of time, then you're repeating that new learning a few times. And then you're clearly indicating to the unconscious, this is what I want. And after that, you don't even have to do it consciously. Whenever it happens, the unconscious will kick in. It will bring in that new learning. It will bring in the pause as soon as those kind of thoughts start coming. It will start becoming natural for you. It starts becoming automatic. Now, after you've done it one day, then don't complain saying it didn't become automatic. For how many years have you trained yourself? If you're 30 years old, you've trained yourself for 30 years to have a particular habit. If you're 50 years, you've trained yourself for 50 years to keep on thinking like that. So suddenly, if you do it one day, don't expect it to change immediately. Do it for a few days. Show yourself that this is what I want. And then you'll actually see the change happening. Yeah? So you all felt the difference now? When you were distracted and you did all that and then you held, you felt centered. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Because however much we train ourselves, our training to be all over the place is even more. That's why we'll keep getting scattered and we'll be running all over the place. So we want to keep on centering ourselves. We want to make sure every now and then we center ourselves. So these are all the different ways that you can use to keep getting centered and to bring yourself into the present so that you're actually being who you are and you're actually experiencing yourself, experiencing who I am, experiencing myself. That happens when we get centered, when we come in, when we come home, when we feel like I am being now. And through your being, whatever you're doing becomes enhanced, it becomes enriched. Because there's energy even in your doing, because there's energy in your being. Isn't that beautiful? When you're taking action, which will work better? When you're in your centered space or when you're agitated? When you're in your centered space, right? So, how you're going to project it will be different, and how other people are going to receive it will also be different. That will change. So, before you do anything, whenever you're dealing with any difficult situation, it's always good to center yourself. When I was doing my building work, I had a lot of difficulties with my architect and all that. So, every time I came and saw something was wrong, I would go back and I would want to call her and talk to her about it. But then, if I talked in that state, I knew it would not work. So, what I would do is, I would first center myself. I might first do some release work. I might do I might do gibberish. I might punch a pillow. I might do something. Release that agitation that I'm feeling. Then center myself with one of these pause exercises. And then from that centered space, then I could call her, speak to her, and explain to her so that it moves forward. We want things to move forward, isn't it? We don't want it to be taking us backward. If in that agitated state, it will only go backward. So I'm bringing myself into a state of being and then doing it. So when we release ourselves of all that stress, agitation, tension, pressure, what is inside of us? For each one of us, what is inside a baby? When you see a baby, what do you feel? You feel good, no? You feel like smiling. You feel like just going towards that baby. You want to hug the baby. Why? Because the baby is just experiencing its essence. And that's what is there inside all of us. That's our core. That well-being, that space of joy, contentment, that is our core. So if we release all these external things, that stress, tension, pressure, all that, then we access that essence, that core. And that's what we are, and that's what we relate with. That's why we feel good when we go into that space. So we want to keep getting into that space as much as we can, even in our daily life. Don't wait for a situation. Don't wait for a problem. Just like that, every now and then, just let's get into that space. Can you all commit to doing that? If your video is on, just raise your hands to show commitment to that. Because the more you get into that space and the more you're in that space, yeah, wonderful. Thank you all. The more you're in that space, it becomes a habit and it will be there even when you're doing other things. Yeah. And when you're in that space, when you're keeping on grounding yourself, centering yourself, what will happen is we take more and more responsibility for our own lives. And that's the first step towards doing anything for the world outside. Taking responsibility for my own life, then I'm doing things right for myself. When I'm doing things right for myself, I'm going to do things right for everybody else. Yes? Is that right? You can nod your heads. Yeah.
Super, Dr. Sampurna. Super.
Yeah. So because that's what we have is what we'll be giving out. Whatever I have inside of me is what goes outside of me. I don't have to try to do anything. It'll naturally, that's what will be flowing out of me. So being in the present helps us take responsibility. And when we're taking responsibility and living life right and with integrity, then what do we feel? We feel gratitude. So through living consciously, gratitude, responsibility, all this becomes a natural part of our lives. It just becomes, it's the inherent thing for us. That's what we are born with. And we've covered it up with various things, with defenses. And now, by living in this manner, bringing ourselves back into that every now and then, we come back to what's inherent for us. And that's what we want to be, right? So, with this, we kind of come to a close with this section of the program. And each of you, for this moment, again, do that once of bringing yourself, use any of the methods that we learned right now, and just bring yourself into that centered space, using whatever you want, or you can just try them all out. I'm not going to lead you. You're going to do it. Yeah. So once you're back into the centered space, that is your real being space. That's what you are. And that's the space you're coming into.
Superb, Dr. Sapurna. You shared the small but very effective things with us. We can all use on daily basis. You rightly said that the transformation, the changes will not come in a day. We have to practice that. In Hindi we say that punah hai, punah hai. हमें उसको बार बार again we have to practice to get the results.
And having said that, even from doing it a few times, you'll start seeing the changes in your life. And that will be your inspiration, your motivation to do more of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were near about 90% live, and near about, if we say that everyone has promised, when you ask that you will do that, it will hardly take 2 to 3 minutes in a day. And everyone can do that.
Yeah. So if there are any question answers or anything.
Dear spiritual doctors and friends, if you have any doubt, any question, any compliment, please share. After that, we'll go into meditation session. After meditation session, there will be end of the session.
Yeah.
Actually, their compliments are coming. Wonderful session. बहुत ही बढ़िया.
Thank you.
Was very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for this wonderful session. Sara is saying. Very empowering. Thanks, ma'am. So I think there is no question, Dr. Sampurna. You have cleared all the doubts. That's why no question is coming. There is only compliments are there.
Okay.
And before that, I will request Dr. Saurav to tell the viewers about the program and channel. After that, we'll go into meditation.
Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you, for all your compliments. I'm reading some of them, and it's really, really nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you liked it. And yeah, if you'd like to join,
thank you.
Please subscribe to YouTube and send us an email so we can add you to the database and you'll know all that's happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sampurna ma'am. Thank you for this enlightening session. Very peaceful, very lively session. Dear friends, here at Spiritual Doctors for Holistic Health, every Sunday we are coming with different talk, different program. And to connect with us, you can watch our Facebook page, Spiritual Doctors for Holistic Health, or we are also on YouTube with the same name, Spiritual Doctors for Holistic Health, or you can message us on this WhatsApp number to get notification on WhatsApp. So through these, and beside we are also on the Telegram. If you want to receive the mail, send a mail on shown email ID, spiritualdoctorsforhealth@gmail.com. Every Sunday, we do organize talk of different doctors, different scientists, different researchers.
Next week's guest is Dr. J.P. Singhvi. He is a neurologist from Chandigarh. He is Art of Living Happiness teacher and he is Art of Living Sah Samadhi teacher. So don't forget to tune up next week also. Next week, a very sensational and very informative session is coming about the vagus nerve.